Hey guys, welcome to day number 2 of our healthy, easy, and delicious dinner ideas for this week. Today on the menu for dinner, we are having a delicious bacon wrapped chicken with fried potatoes and onions, and then a side of avocado. If you're new to the channel, be sure to go find us on Facebook. Also, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell to be notified when we upload a new video. Jumping right into the meal prep, I am taking a baking sheet and lining half of it with some aluminum foil. Then I'm taking a cookie cooling rack, setting that on top of it, and I will show you why in a little bit. First, you're going to need some chicken breasts. These were a little bit larger, so I am going to be cutting these down because they were only 2 pieces in the bag, so I'm just going to make a few more out of them. Next, you're going to take your favorite sliced bacon, and we're going to start wrapping our chicken with this. Now, if you don't want to add the bacon, if you're trying to be a little bit healthier, you can omit the bacon, but I'm just going to show you how I'm going to be doing that with the chicken. So you're just going to want to take your chicken and then kind of start wrapping your bacon around from one end to the other. Typically, you're going to need about 2 pieces to fill the front and back of your bacon. And then once you've got your second piece of bacon wrapped on there, you kind of just want to tuck in the ends of it and tuck it right underneath the chicken. Now, if you like cheese, you can always take your knife, cut a little slit in the chicken, and then fill it with some shredded cheese or even some onion and chives flavored cream cheese also. But here I'm just going to be leaving it plain. Now, if you want extra bacon on your chicken, you can always do that too. Sometimes I have used 4 pieces in the past if I have bigger sized chicken, but you just got to make sure that your bacon and your chicken is cooked thoroughly when you are baking this. And then I'm just going to be wrapping my last piece of chicken here with the bacon. So here I'm showing you 2 different ways to cook this. I have 2 pieces right here on the cooking rack, and then I'm also taking some of the pieces and putting it in some tin foil, and then I'm going to kind of wrap that up so that the juices and flavoring stay inside the tin foil, and this is going to make your chicken and bacon very tender. It's not going to have as much of a crispy bacon look on the outside, so if you do like your bacon a little crispy, be sure to put it on the cooling rack rather than in the tin foil. And then I'm also just putting a plain piece of chicken here, wrapping it with some tin foil if you're wanting to do the plain chicken, and then I'm just adding some salt and pepper on both sides of that to season it. Then you're going to put this in your 350-degree oven for about 50 minutes to an hour. Could be 45 minutes, could be a little over an hour depending on your type of oven and then also the size of chicken you're using. While your chicken is in the oven, I'm going to start on the onion. Right here I'm just using 1 yellow onion. I'm going to peel it, and then I'm just going to be slicing it. You don't have to dice this super tiny, just into larger slices is fine. And a fun fact about me, when I'm cutting my onions, my eyes do not water. So if you know the medical or scientific term as to why this does not happen, or if this doesn't happen to you, let me know in the comments because I'm definitely interested to figure out why. If you watched yesterday's meal, we made some boiled potatoes. I made 2 out of the 4 of those yesterday, so I'm just using the 2 I had left over from that, and I'm just going to be cutting these into cubes. I usually only like mashed potatoes, but I remember my mom used to make this for us when we were kids, so this is like the only other way that I really like potatoes, so we'll see how this turns out. To my skillet, I'm turning this on to a medium to high heat, adding in some olive oil, just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. I'm going to let that heat up a little bit. And then once that is heated up, I'm just gonna make sure the pan is coated, and then I'm gonna add my sliced onions that I did earlier, and then I'm gonna cook these until they are translucent. Once they're almost completely cooked, I'm just going to be adding in my cubed potatoes to this, just so I can coat that with some of the olive oil that's still on the bottom of the pan. And then you're just going to want to keep on stirring and flipping your potatoes and onions so that they're thoroughly coated. You don't want to stir them too much as to where the potatoes are going to smush, so just be careful with that. But I'm just going to be adding some salt, some pepper, and then also some garlic salt to this mixture. Alright, now we're going to check on our chicken. It's been about 50 minutes. As you can see, the one in the tin foil isn't quite as dark as the ones on the rack. And these ones still need to cook a little bit longer, so I'm going to pop those back in. And then lastly, I'm just going to take one avocado here. It's not quite ripe, but we're still going to use it. And then we're just going to cut it. If you have a special way of cutting your avocados, let me know in the comments. This is the only way that I know how to do it. So this is what I'm doing here. We're going to take that middle pit out, and then we're just going to slice these up. After about 10 more minutes, we're checking on our chicken again. I'm just cutting it down the middle, and then I want to make sure that it's not pink. And this looks just about right. So just always check on that chicken. Now, the chicken in the tinfoil again is going to be very moist. And then the one on the cooling rack, it's still going to be moist. The bacon is just going to be a little bit more well done. And then it is going to stick to the rack a little bit. So if you want to put some tinfoil underneath that chicken, you might want to. And then here's just an idea of what the bacon looks like in the tinfoil and then on the rack itself. Everything is ready, so let's plate this. First we have our chicken wrapped bacon here. Set that right to the side. Looks so good. And then we're just going to be adding our fried onions and potato mixture. If you notice a trend in our videos, we're trying to do a protein, a vegetable, and then a starch for our dinners here. Then lastly, we have our avocado slices, which I'll be adding to give it some color. And then to the avocado, I am going to be adding some pink Himalayan coarse salt to that. That's what I prefer on my avocados. So we're just going to add that here. And look at this meal, you guys. It looks phenomenal in my opinion. Not to brag, but I am going to give this meal a 10-star, and then we're going to see what Chef Ramsay Jr. has to say about his star ratings. Oh, and then this is what the meal without the bacon on the chicken would look like if you wanted to make it that way. Now, what are your thoughts on this meal, and how would you rate this?
Honestly, I'd rate this meal a 10. It was really good. The chicken was nice and tender and moist, and it had the bacon juices really soaked into the chicken, which made it taste really good. And the potatoes had a lot of good flavor and seasoning on them, so I definitely rate it a 10. It was one of my favorites.
Awesome. So there you have it, guys. Please stay tuned for tomorrow's meal if you're interested, and subscribe to our channel to see more upcoming videos.